some filtration, some air. Just a moment. Okay, much better. If that's problematic for background noise, then I'll tend to it. So, before the show tonight, there's been some concepts, some very personal things that I have just been kind of thinking on a lot to the point where I knew I had to get to an emotional space, a psychological space, where I felt comfortable enough to talk about some of these very things that I've been thinking about that are all compiled together. I did my best to, I'm not big on making a presentable title, but what I put there is kind of a list of things that I want to go through, just kind of spill my heart out a bit, put it all on the table, let it be understood, not just so I can hear myself think. This is me figuring out where I stand within all this confusion and conflict because of the Epstein files and everything they've implicated. This is not going to just be a rant about that. And of course, this is pre, the big live show that I love so much. That's later tonight. So, yo, what's up? T. Rollin', White Dragon. White Dragon, Mr. T. Roland, God bless you, by the way. Shout out to our favorite channels and, well, our one favorite fan. White Dragon, I think you may be interested. I'm interested to see the feedback you may have based on things I'm going to say, mention. For the first time, I'm going to be putting these ideas that I've been so conflicted about together. So I'll just bear this in mind and ask you to bear this in mind. Anything that comes out of my mouth after I get into it here, please just bear in mind that I am trying to figure out my place, my values, what I'm rooting for, what I'm standing for. And I guess the majority of these questions have all spiraled as a result of, the big Epstein flash splash. No, there's not a single American or human being on this planet that can escape it. It should have an impact on all of us. So where it gets complicated or odd or strange or uncomfortable for me, because I feel it compromises some of my arguments, it makes some of the people that I've grown to feel like, okay, that's the other side, and I'll never shut down the ability to have a conversation with another side, but they're going to attack these areas or my positions here, there, this, that, or the other, and I need to be prepared. So I wrote a little list. All right, because of the Epstein files, I'm conflicted about my support for Trump. I like Trump's presidency. I like I like what he has planned. I like the big beautiful bill. I like what his ideas are with kind of reimbursing the people with revenue as a result of being able to stick it out with with the long game in mind with the tariffs. So at least he's implemented something. And yes, it was a sacrifice. I'm sure there are people that know far more than I do that can make an argument why maybe it's still a terrible thing, but I'm convinced that this is a long game effort and we are going to see some reciprocation. And it's targeted to the middle Americans, or actually at least the people that work, not like the Biden days where he threw a check at everybody. So, not to get on a tangent, another thing that's inescapable. Oh, and if anybody's lost on why I mentioned Trump, I like his presidency, man. I like his leadership. I like his approach, and putting the heavy hand on immigration. It needs to be done. Other countries are recognizing this far too late in the game, and I'm grateful. Maybe we are one of those countries, but at least we are doing things. What's so ironic to me, and this is not I'm not going on this diatribe, it's just a point that needs to be recognized. So if there's any lefties that see this in the future and think like I'm shilling, getting in their good graces, do not get it twisted. So Obama was almost near just as heavy-handed as Trump was, only he was covert. The media was complicit. It was only how long into his presidency that we started seeing the pictures of cages, and there were far more deaths. Now it's all sensationalized. Every single fart and complaint and mistake of ICE at current is reported in a way. I mean, by God, Dave Chappelle of all people, he knew, optically what him visiting Preddy's funeral grave site would do. Anyway, he falls for it of all people. So the point I'm making, Obama did all of this shit, and you liberals, or you the Democrats, you just plug your ears and cover your eyes and retell history in your own mind. Obama did what he did, only he just wasn't transparent like Trump is, and that's got a lot of people in their feels. So okay, I support Trump. Now, conflict. The and I know I've gotten DMs and I get messages from people on different social medias that I have, Instagram and what have you, Twitter now, that they don't like that I talk about this, and I talk about it. And yes, if you think I'm vaguely mentioning you, please don't take it seriously, because I'm not dragging you or mentioning you right here, right now. Just know, yeah, I'm referring to you most likely if you've made mention of or critiqued me talking about this. I don't have enough information, so I haven't come to any smoking gun final conclusion of Trump's guilt. I hear about allegations. I hear about Trump's name. Hey, Kate. Actions and hi, Internet. C-Files. Been interested in having this uncomfortable shit chat with you. Kate, I've been thinking about, all the damn comics. I've been doing the comic book thing. I got that whole business going thanks to you and our boy Alex. So, all right, I was scrolling. It seems Olympic now has a new. Oh, what? Anti-American can you be as an American? That's unfortunate. I have to, stuck in the middle tonight with our old friend, or let me not reveal the guest. We're gonna be probably covering all of that. All right, so here's what I've been made aware of, without, I haven't vetted. I just apparently this is fact, and I'd love anybody to clear it real time. All right, so to my knowledge, Trump has been accused. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Real time here. He has been accused of graping what, was it a teenage girl with Epstein? Like, literally the two of them. Is this accurate or not? And this was what was it? So this is an allegation, right? And what, I don't know what. See, I need the confidence. I need the information. I'm going to recklessly talk about it. Every channel out there that loves to judge me, at least there was a time where they did. Feel free to, you know, get that judgment. Keep that same energy. Make your clips. But I'm going to be very concise about my confusion and my lack of information. So, true or false, Trump was accused of doing something to a teenage girl with Epstein. I heard that there was some documentation and the details were horrifying. What I bear in mind is this: accusation slash allegations. If we can get, cooperation and proof, the evidence that shows, you know, I know some people are fatigued about this entire thing, but let's look at the facts as they are. Trump dropped the dime on Epstein. He was the first one to call the FBI. The cops became aware of the whole organization because of two high school girls getting into a physical fight where the friend was calling the other friend a prostitute, and that's what led into the big investigation. But Trump was the first one to drop a dime, so he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. This doesn't erase that they had a friendship. That this doesn't erase that we have pictures. This doesn't erase that we have video of them at a party, a clip that's used ad nauseum with zero context. The music sounds like, I don't know, 90s kind of shit, techno, whatever. So where's the meat and potatoes? If they're alleged, was it settled out of court? I assume, because, and where's the witness? I guess the argument can be made, that they're so afraid, so you have to respect their fear. So then I think we have to all kind of admit, okay, there's a lot of implications, but when it comes to hardcore evidence, I've not seen that yet. And when and if I see unequivocal evidence of Trump being guilty aside from being mentioned thousands of times, clearly by having the friendship as long as he did with Epstein. He's going to be mentioned, especially with his reach and his profile as a human being, and let's face it, in the circles that he was in. So that's going to be. Oh yeah, Bill Clinton. By the way, Bill Clinton. They're still testifying, right? Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. I'm dying to see that. I am dying to see that. Yeah, one of our Olympic. Oh God, what? Pete in the snow? F ice? Are you kidding? All right, I'm writing that down. Sorry, guys. There's a live show tonight. I'm sure Josh sent this article. Pete in snow. I gotta take that note. Olympics. Thank you. I'm gonna misspell everything because I'm writing in chicken scratch or shorthand. All right, now here's a big one. Here's a big uncomfortable one for me. Here's a reason why it's so uncomfortable. I hate having to recontextualize and define why this is on me. I don't practice this faith. I've never been in a synagogue. I've never worn a yarmulke, except at a funeral, a friend's funeral. I don't know how to speak Yiddish or Hebrew. I've never picked up a Torah. And I was baptized Catholic, and by the very definition of Judaism, you have to be born of a Jewish mother. Okay? I am none of those things. This is what I wear this because I respect the family that I've had throughout my life that showed me unconditional love, and they stay in my heart and in my soul. None of them were technical practitioners, with the exception of my great grandma in Brooklyn, Grandma Fortuna. Rest in peace. I still love you, still miss you. And cousin Toby, rest in peace, Toby. Taken too soon. So it's like this, all right. I can't ignore this. It would be so disingenuous. I think it would be very distasteful, very dishonest, and it would be too damn convenient. And if you're too comfortable, you're not doing something right. The terminology that's utilized in the Epstein files, the usage of goyams and non-goyams, all of that, and a popular, I don't even want to call it conspiracy, but I don't think we can conclude anything yet. Tell me otherwise. Jeffrey Epstein was a Jewish man who had Jewish friends. I went through I scrolled through 400 plus pages on one of my lives on this channel from StreamYard on my computer. Went through a lot of that shit, disturbing as fuck, fucking grotesque, and now it's only worse from what I hear. Very clear, he had Jewish family that, as far as I'm concerned, some of the files in there are just like his scrapbook was in there. So there's people that were possibly unaware or whatever, or way into his younger life, like when he's a kid. They're talking, and they're talking in a way that makes it very clear they're Jewish. And I don't know how to describe that other than, just you get familiar with some things. I'm not talking about stereotypes here either. Just certain uses and certain words. So all of that to say this, it's forced me to entertain that Epstein may possibly be like a Mossad asset. Our DOJ, our FBI, correct me if I'm wrong, they want us to believe that he's a Russian asset. That doesn't fit any framework or belief that I maintain. However, I'm always willing to be wrong in the face of new evidence and information. So I don't know. Show me the evidence, point me in the right direction, and I'll have to change my tune in terms of like supporting Trump, jumping back to that, or my stance in the stance, let me put a little pin on that for a moment. I'll have to acknowledge my hypocrisy of being so critical of the Nation of Islam. Because Epstein, being Jewish and having a Jewish circle, and the allegations of him being some sort of Israel asset, this, that, or the other, that is not reflective of the Jewish people. And I anecdotally can at least say that with my whole chest out, my heart and soul revealed, because of my experience with, the family that I wasn't tied with spiritually faithfully, but, we had a bond. And there was nothing deplorable I ever heard from their lips behind anyone's back or about non Jews. I never heard the term goyim in any household. So I need to apply that same logic to the radicals of Islam, because I'm very critical of Islam. I'll still maintain this, though. You cannot look at 25% of a population, which it rounds about to 300 million people, and say, okay, it's just 300 million people. No. I maintain I have a bias when it comes to Islam, but I can't only have a bias for Islam and ignore what so many people say, all the information that floats out there about Israel, about Zionism, about Judaism, or about, things that are in the Torah. I've had nothing but positive experiences with Jewish people IRL. I've had unique experiences with Muslim people IRL. Some I'll go as far as true friends. The Olympics, man, I'm very eager to get into it. I'm getting into it. Yeah, I have to be logical, C-Fouls, because I can't put my head in the sand and just pretend. Again, if I find myself in a position of willful ignorance just so I could be comfortable and ignore anything that may be utilized in a future debate or just as a fact, I would be making myself a fool voluntarily. I don't want to do that unless, it's at a Juggalo concert or some shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I can still be critical of Islam, at least their radicals, not the entirety. My core issue, aside from the radicals of Islam, that 300 million plus 25%, and their gangs and the way they target non-Muslims, and there's a whole new bid of them, like, what was it, Sneeko, who is not a representative of the Nation of Islam, but he claims to be a Muslim, even though he almost ate pork recently, or did eat pork. He's spreading the message, which is going viral, and now clips are being dropped all over X. And I've taken some of those clips, as long as they're friendly enough, of Muslim people in our country and other European countries, and then, God forbid, the ones from the Middle Eastern countries, on how they are mistreating dogs, our dogs, because it is stated that they believe them to be unclean. It is in the Quran. Dogs are unclean animals, similar to pigs. And some clips that I have that you may see on tonight's show, stuck in the middle, around 9:30 p.m. Please be there. Feel free if you got the time. It's alarming, okay? Going in so far as, like, children surrounding a dog, an innocent dog. Don't worry, this is not graphic, but you know how dogs' hearing is very strong. All right, they can hear something on such a small level that we won't. So these kids, because their indoctrinated parents indoctrinated them and have given them knowledge on how to drive a dog crazy, knowing that their ability to hear can be used against them, they took these very loud toy trumpets and went right up to the dog. You'll see the clip tonight. They surround the dog and they're just playing it nonstop, and the dog is making these noises. It's clearly in distress. There's a clip I saw recently, and it looked like California or Florida, where a Muslim individual approached a woman with a German Shepherd. This moron, and he goes and he's telling the woman to leave, to get out, yalla, yalla, not even deigning himself to speak English to her, but telling her she's not welcome while she's just out in public with her dog. And I can understand some Arabic, believe it or not, because my grandma, while being Jewish, or she married Jewish, she can go, she's from Panama, but she's also from Egypt. Man, I'm a mutt of all types, okay? She spoke Arabic fluently. I think she just married my grandpa, who was Jewish. Man, oh man. So wild, wild. These are things I need to look into more. My ancestral tree would be fascinating. So, I guess to end the story, the man threatens the dog's life, looking at the camera, looking at this is a woman, like a young woman, who is probably afraid, but she's standing her damn ground because she loves her dog. We, Americans, people, like just in general, man's best friend. Fuck Sneeko, for the record. No, not that he's popular, not that I'm making a huge statement for putting out there for it to be popular or viral that dogs suck or are unclean and that they should be harmed in any way. I cannot believe he hasn't been deplatformed everywhere. So this guy finally decides to just smack the dog, and then he walks away. I'm nitpicking here, and I am being critical of Islam once again. I guess what I can do side by side is at least with the Jewish people. Remember, I am America first. That is my very comfortable stance that I know I can defend. I want Israel to prosper, but without like infringing on us. I don't want any of their strings in our shit. I don't want our strings in their shit. I don't want our tax dollars to fund any of their stuff. And but we're allies, and Trump is an ally. This seems to be very contentious because of people like Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, that have made it very popular to be very critical of the Jewish state, Zionism, Israel, and the entirety of the Jewish people. And I can tell you this, a little anecdote. Hey, Foxy, defamation lawsuit. I'm curious. I missed whatever was in there, but probably I don't know what we're talking about. I mean, in terms of like me talking about Sneeko or this, that, or the other, who knows? Who knows? But I always read every comment. Just bear with me. Regardless, I find it overall. Let me make my position clear that the Jewish people. I know people say they're sneaky or they're this, that, or the other. Enter stereotype. I just think they're more modernized to live among us in current in our civilization. I think Islam's old school tenets make it harder for them to coexist with us, and it's been proven self-evident by how much they parade how they want Sharia law practiced, utilized. Go look where it is practiced and what's involved in it. Get educated on that. This is where I wish, and I'll tap into my conservative side here. I wish the kids, the liberals that say that from the river to the sea, which is the PC version that was made in English, so it would not disturb how Islam or what Islam wants to accomplish. That is the not even an accurate translation. The true Arabic term from the river to the sea always says essentially, from the beginning of the world to the end of the world, so the entirety from the river to the sea. uh, we will return to the caliphate. We will conquer. We will take over. So anytime you hear from the river to the sea from some uneducated moron, whatever side they say they are on, you tell them to look up where that comes from and what they're supporting. The return to the caliphate is game over for the world as we know it, or for the world of our understanding. We will all be under the thumb of Islam if they get their way. So, all of these issues that I've articulated, here's some notes that I took down because I did want to at least I wanted to make sure that I hit these notes. I'm not able to freestyle this one, and I just wanted to get it right. Epstein conflict caused the ambiguity of Trump's ties, mentions, and allegations. And please feel free to send me information. ProgressivePatriot44 at gmail.com. I haven't checked it in a hot minute, but do feel free if you got something, or Instagram me, the Eli from 84 on Instagram. Please do so. Judaism's implication causing me to face my hypocrisy about Islam bias, my Islam bias. Epstein and his Jewish clique is not a reflection of all Jewish people. I have to apply this to Islam and focus on their radicals. Oh, and the Olympics I have to look into. So I think it has the Rumble link. I cannot wait to read all these comments here. Let me. A lot of times in money, I doubt anyone mentioned will ever see. Yeah, unless someone clips it, and it would be a degenerate thing to do. Shit, what did I miss? Oh God, I know what we're talking about. Is yeah, he clearly. I mean, you'd think he would jump at any opportunity to say anything to the digital face of someone because that's the content that he thrives on. I, I don't want to waste my breath, but I don't shy away. And this will be another motivator of creating that what this locale does every time somebody gets on a shit list, and it's amazing how many more people are being added to that list because there's so many clip channels full locale status, full locale. Like every good locale has a nice collection of clip channels. We're getting this close to being like locale live level of like big or depraved, celebrated in a way because you're disliked so much. Boogie 2988 style 2988, Wings of Redemption, Cyrax. He's like the crack squad Cyrax over here. That's a name that'll stick. And so yeah, he makes a shrine to the people he hates the most, and the people he hates the most get the most attention. We get AI images of us time and time again, entire posts dedicated, and then the videos, then the live streams, and then the removal, and then the live streams, and then the removal, and more of the. I love that I can go there and see like my face all over the lives. There was a live he did very recently, 28 views by the end of it. The shorts, just yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it. It's too easy. It's too easy. Besides, I wanted to stay on point and concise with the title, so I'm gonna rest up, maybe eat dinner. I don't know. I've been losing some weight, I think. What do you think? Now, I'm not gonna be cringy and give like a full view, but by God, like I'm not drinking soda anymore. It's just juice, iced tea, a lot of iced tea. Uh, I still drink energy drinks. When I'm home is the only time it's Red Bull when I'm live, like on Stuck in the Middle, which will be tonight. Please look up Stuck in the Middle show on YouTube or go to my community post. You'll see a link there. Find it. You can call in. You can roast me. Do what you do, or just let's all agree to disagree, or disagree passionately, or laugh. Because I promise we're gonna do all of the above on the very show. It's been around for years. Did I get to everything I want to? Oh, buy Seafowl's skateboard. Seafowl's always drop that link immediately. Do not wait on my blessing. Did Josh ever play the video? By the way, I haven't forgotten. I have. Seafowl's is a great skateboarder and a great skateboard creator. We have a video of Jesus using one of his skateboards. Somewhat of a true story. So, I'm gonna do all the necessities, and then I'll see y'all tonight, alright? Appreciate y'all. Skin and bones. Oh, Jesus. Drink water with lemon in it. That's a fantastic common sense idea. Blob on a bike. I mean, when you're right, you're right. That should be the next channel. I'm like, please make sure I am following all of these channels. I can't. Who's this new one? Shill Hunter is starting to do the short game too. We got Shill Hunter, Bible verse, Martin's meth bag, and what happened to Ben Thrifton? Ben, you were so we could count on you with the the fuego, the hilarity, and Foxy, you're doing your due diligence. Foxy Loxy. T Rolling. All right. God bless everybody. God bless. I'll see you when I see you. I gotta go.